torture the Muslims. He take their wealth. He do all that which jurm that you can bring about. But as long as he is in the Da'iratul Islam, as long as he is in the realms of Islam, then to pray behind him, barakallah fikum, it is that which is to be done in regard to the Sunnah. So he mentioned that if that you, the person, he repeat the Salatul Jum'ah, he say that he say فَأَنْتَ, you are mubtadi', you are an innovator. Now, last one. Shaykh. Allahu Akbar. Imam Ahmed rahimahullah, he said, as Shaykh Rabee concluding this statement, he said the Sunnah, right, the Sunnah. Here the Sunnah will mean what? Huh? Say it. Here the Sunnah will mean what? He say for Sunnah. The Sunnah here it will mean al-Hasan.
To follow the Imam.
Ahsanta. The Aqidah in here. The Aqidah in here. The belief system in here. The methodology in here is to pray ma'ahum with them. 2 raka'at. And take that as our religion. And take it, meaning worship Allah with that. Worship Allah with praying behind them. He say, and bi annaha tamma. We believe, we worship Allah with the belief that those 2 rak'ah is sufficient. And it is complete. It is complete and it is sufficient. We believe that. لا يكون في صدرك من ذلك شيء. There is nothing to be afterward in your heart from any doubts. Any doubts whatsoever. That what you have done is not sufficient. Any doubts. But rather you hold it to be your religion, those 2 rak'at. You worship Allah with it by praying behind this imam, this leader, whether he is righteous or he is not righteous. Today, if let's say the president, if for instance the president of a country, he was a Muslim, let's say here, if he was a Muslim, he can come and say, I'm going to make the khutbah in Ibn Abbas tomorrow, Friday. Are you going to go somewhere else? Huh? Are you going to go somewhere else? Or to say, well, it's not, this guy, he is a ikhwani. I'm not going to pray behind him. La. The same muaddin will call the adhan. Maybe anyone that used to make the khutbah in the masjid, they have to be sitting right there under him. And when we go home, none of us will repeat our salah, our 2 rak'at. Akhi, let him just standing and say, Alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah, qala Allahu tabaraka wa ta'ala, wal asr. And he sit down. And he get up again. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala nabina Muhammad, wal asr, inna al-insan lafi khusr. He sat down. Aqimu salatakum. Let's get up and pray. Oh, definitely. He is the leader. He is the leader. He is the leader. And this is what we worship Allah with. We don't put our emotions in it. Now you don't think this is, do you think that this is easy? This is, actually learning this, number 1, is not easy. Number 2, that putting it into implementation, it is not easy. Anything about the ruler, barakallah fikum. It is not easy learning it. It requires patience upon yourself. And more so implementing it, barakallah fikum. How many people, barakallah fikum, they take a stand against the Muslim ruler? He's saying things that la qibala la, things that doesn't have no end in regard to either lies or even if it is the truth, it is not to be said in public. Even if it is the truth. You came and you found him drinking khamr, or you found him having intimacy with somebody that is not his wife. You seen it. It is not for you to, barakallah fikum, spread it out. But as we mentioned, right? Our hobby when we drink tea is what? We drink tea with what? Slandering the Muslim ruler. That's what we drink tea with. You know, people in general, they drink tea with crackers or with peanuts and the likes of that, right? Not with Monster. They drink tea with eating at the same time, some little stuff, right? But when we drink tea, we start bashing the Muslim ruler. And akhi, the situation is not changing. Keep bashing him. You are in disobedience to Allah Ta'ala. Allah won't, barakallahu feekum, aid you while you're in disobedience to Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Rectify yourself, perhaps the leader will be rectified. Say it again.
When you see the Muslim ruler and error, you make a dua for him.
Yes.
That's the best. But I'm at this topic where we're talking about the Juma and the Eid.
Right.
Right.
Or the division of the spoils of war.
No.
Mm-hmm.
But the regular, basically, salawat, you can.
No, because the basic salawat, no, I mean, if the Muslim ruler is doing it, if the, what is, you know, the mujtama of Salatul Jummah, or the jama'ah, the congregation of Jummah, is more important than the congregation of the regular 5 daily salah. So if we have to pray in something that is more important, then how about something that is less of a virtue, or less therefore of importance? Not to say it's not important, right? So the min bab al-awla, for in first and foremost. So if we gotta pray behind him Jum'ah, then let alone the 5 daily salawat. If the president, for example, is a Muslim, and all he can recite is Fatiha, Qul huwa Allahu ahad. That's all he will recite every day, right? Or all he would, and he will recite it in a way, barakallahu feekum, you know. So it is upon us to pray behind him.
Yeah, but the question, let me take it back. Like, if you go to some country, they have been or the Kabul and the mosque in front of cemetery in
right,
the mosque.
Right.
And the Muslim ruler is praying there, and you know that, so you still have to go there.
No, because there is another general text, okay, which is that we do not obey. We do not obey the creation, right? In that which is a disobedience to the Creator. La ta'ata li makhluqin inda ma'siyatil khaliq. We do not obey the Muslim, the human being or the creation in something that is in disobedience to the Muslim, to the Creator. Right? So let's say if there is a qabr where there is the salah to be established, barakallahu feekum, the asl is that the salah is not to be established in a place where there is a qabr.
It goes to the ruler that's a Tijani. If he's a Tijani, Ghulat, he, has shirk with him, is the least of it.
The Jahmiyyah. Imam Ahmed, what was the ruling of the Jahmiyyah he has? Kuffar. But yet he was what? As long as this was something that is not in act of disobedience that he is involving himself in. Last one.
In regard to last Wednesday class for the Jama prayer for the 2 masjid.
What masjid? Oh, okay, all right.
Last Wednesday class,
right.
It was mentioned something. If the first masjid is not upon the Sunnah, you can pray the other one. At least, if you far for that masjid, you can go and pray over there.
Yes.
And in regard to that case, every Friday, that masjid is close to you. You can go pray over there, or you just leave the masjid and go pray somewhere. Because you cannot repeat the prayer, because you know that masjid, the people over there, they don't follow the Sunnah. I don't know if it's the same case.
Now here, we're dealing with the Muslim ruler. Here, there is nobody appointing, there is no one that appoints for instance, the imam, and the imams and the like.
But you know that masjid don't appoint it.
Khalas, if you know that, then that's not, it's alhamdulillah, it's not for you. What you go there for? To hear the imam, to see the imam open an AJC newspaper, read from it?
Far from you.
Alhamdulillah, it's once a week. I mean, don't you want to at least hear something that, alhamdulillah, at least it will have a little effect on you, or something that clarify the matters? I mean, if you want to, go to, you leave.
You got to work. It's too
No, we're not talking about, let's say, if you are in a situation where you don't have no option. Let's say you are at work in I don't know where, and there is the only masjid that you can go for Salatul Jummah. You don't have a day off or half a day off to go to the Salafi masjid and no, alhamdulillah, you establish your salah in the local masjid, and barakallah fikum. Don't take, if the individual talk about things that barakallah doesn't have it is far away from the sunnah, then you distance yourself from that, but you pray the Salatul Jummah in there. The obligation is that you pray the Salatul Jummah. It's an obligation upon you. Pray there. You cannot travel 35 minutes or 40 minutes one way because and you only have maybe 30 minutes break. It's impossible to do that.
لكن بعض العلماء هنا بعض الإخوة يقولون أنا ما أريد أن أجلس بخطبة. نعم.
لا.
ذكر العلماء هنا كشيخ ربيع.
شيخ عبيد أيضا. Yes, لابد تحضر الخطبة. أيوة. No, that's another thing that mashallah and alhamdulillah for the ulama, and alhamdulillah some of us we have made that mistake. The imam, he's the Salafi, I'm not going to listen to the khutbah. La. If that's the only place that you can make your Jum'ah, no, you got to go and listen to the khutbah. And having patience though. Meaning having patience upon not taking these things that is from batil that he says. As long as there is no issue of mukaffara in it. As long as there is no issue that of kufr that he's calling to kufr. طيب. Whether it is from kufr that is sarih or whether it is from an innovation that is mukaffira. You understand? Ibadah. طبعا. It's an act of worship to sit down in during the khutbah. And this is alhamdulillah, it is wajib. Shaykh Uthaymeen rahimahullah mentioned something that is beautiful that you find sometimes some of the people they do when they come for Jum'ah and they late. The mu'adhin is calling the adhan. You find people they will stand and wait for the adhan to finish. La, because repeating after the adhan is what? Is a sunnah. But amma sitting down and listening to the khutbah is wajib, as he was mentioning earlier. So therefore, one comes, Shaykh Uthaymeen rahimahullah, he mentioned that one come and the mu'adhin is calling the adhan for Jum'ah, that you gotta do a real light to tahiyatul masjid. And hurry up and sit down and listen to the khutbah. Because listening to the khutbah is an act of, it's an obligation. Amma to repeat after the mu'adhin, this is not barakallahu fikum, something if you don't do it, you will be held accountable. Even though you are missing out a whole lot. So you find a lot of time we're saying is that if you hear the adhan being called, just pray your 2 rak'ah before the imam stands up and and start the khutbah. And this, alhamdulillah, finishes this point. And bi'idhnillahi tabaraka wa ta'ala, there are few that are very short, which is number 1. And it was inclusive in these 2 ones, right? It is inclusive in these 2 ones. Number 1 was tahrim al-khuruj ala a'immat al-muslimin. Right? It is, barakallah fikum, it is haram to be revolting against the Muslim ruler. That's the first one. The second one would be, it is haram to be, barakallah fikum, fighting those who are in authority. Wal khuruju alayhi, and to revolt against them. It is haram to revolt against them, and it is haram to fight them. طيب. Inshallah ta'ala, we will be trying to alhamdulillah to finish these points, because bi'idhnillahi tabaraka wa ta'ala, as we spoke with our brother hafidhahullah wa ra'ah, our brother Abu Muhammad hafidhahullah, he alhamdulillah make himself available to be coming on Sundays inshallah ta'ala, I believe on Sundays, and starting in October. What month are we in? Next month. And inshallah ta'ala, the book that he will be doing will be Imam al-Barbahari, Sharh al-Sunnah. He'll be reading from Sharh al-Sunnah with the explanation of Shaykh Salih al-Fawzan hafidhahullah. So if you don't have that book, you can get it ready. But he asked us to finish inshallah ta'ala this before he start. So bi'idhnillah, so how we were reading it in details and taking some points and the like. Since this is the 3rd time, I believe, right, that we reading this book. Alhamdulillah, many of those things we have it either in our notes or we have it, alhamdulillah, understood and memorized. So from that, we're going to be, inshallah ta'ala, just reading and not to stop in certain the things. If there was any mistake that I have done, rectify.